Imam Muhammad al-Baqir, peace be upon him, has said, Allah compensated Imam al-Hussein, peace be upon him, for his killing by making the imamate in his lineage, the healing in his grave, and the answering of prayers at his grave. And the days of those who visit him, going and returning, will not be counted from their lifespan. So from his honorable descendants, the infallible Imams descended until the matter reached Imam al-Mahdi, may Allah hasten the reappearance, the Imam who is absent from our eyes but present among us, without whom the presence of the earth would have been destroyed, along with its residents, the promised one through whom God will revive the world and the people. It is clear that the reformist role played by Imam al-Hussein, peace be upon him, in the nation of his grandfather, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is no less important than the role of the messenger and the conveyor of the message, as Imam al-Hussein, peace be upon him, said, I have rebelled not for any evil, tyrannical, unjust, or corrupt reason, but I came out for the sake of reforming the nation of my grandfather, peace be upon him. This is a mission that the Prophet, peace be upon him, had entrusted to him before his departure from this world, and he drew lines for him that would clarify everything that was happening to him and to his family in Karbala. It is a role that complements what the Prophet, peace be upon him, began. If Imam al-Hussein, peace be upon him, had not sacrificed himself, then Islam would not have reached us. This reformist position has many similarities to the Mahdavi issue and the mission entrusted to the awaited Imam al-Mahdi, may Allah hasten the reappearance, and it is, without a doubt, a divine plan calculated with precision. Imam al-Hussein, peace be upon him, is the father of the Imams, and Imam al-Mahdi, may Allah hasten the reappearance, is the seal of the guardians and the last of them. All the Imams from the descendants of Imam al-Hussein, peace be upon them all, performed their reformational roles, but each according to the circumstances in which he lived. Some of them used supplication and crying as a means of reform, such as Imam Zainul Abidin, peace be upon him, and some of them used spreading knowledge as a means for that, such as Imams al-Baqir and al-Sadiq, peace be upon them. Thus the sword was not the only way for the people of the house to establish Islam, preserve it, and save it from corruption. Their roles were multiple, but the goal was the same. One of the similarities between the revolution of Imam al-Hussein, peace be upon him, and the revolution of Imam al-Mahdi, may Allah hasten the reappearance, is the unity of purpose. The goal of Imam al-Hussein, peace be upon him, is reform in the nation of his grandfather, peace be upon him, and Imam al-Mahdi, may Allah hasten the reappearance as well. He is the reformer who fills the earth with equity and justice after it was filled with oppression and injustice, and the principle of revolution against injustice and tyranny. The Imam al-Hussein, peace be upon him, revolted against the kingdom of injustice and corruption, namely, the state of the Umayyads, the cursed people. When Imam al-Hussein, peace be upon him, was asked to pledge allegiance to Yazid, he answered with all courage and steadfastness, and said it with complete frankness. Yazid is a man who deems forbidden things permissible, who indulges in wine and plays with monkeys, and someone like me does not pledge allegiance to someone like him. These eloquent Husseini words shook the throne of the tyrant and shook the pillars of the Umayyad state, as Imam Hussein, peace be upon him, summarized the nature of this oppressive group that usurped the right of the people of the house, peace be upon them. And so it is the principle of Imam al-Mahdi to rise up against global injustice, led by the duo of injustice and tyranny, America and Israel, as well as those who understand and support them. It is he who establishes a state of divine justice, which scholars express with hope inspired by the prophets. The beginning of this approach involves sacrifice, redemption, and martyrdom, while its end is the demand for revenge for those sacrifices and pure blood, as well as retaliation against criminals and murderers through the just judgment of God. This is the outcome of an introduction made by Imam Hussain, peace be upon him, as expressed in the Dua Nudba. Where is the one seeking vengeance for the prophets and their sons? Where is the one demanding justice for the bloodshed in Karbala?